Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to the finale of our NXT roster here on WWE 2K16. Of course, now we're only a couple of days away from the release of 2K17, and I did end up getting the game a day early last year, so I really want to get these pay-per-views finished and uploaded for you in the next day or so, just in case we do get the game early and we can start to record things straight away. Now this, of course, is an NXT pay-per-view based on ECW, so there is going to be some nice little surprises there for you. And obviously some hardcore match types as well. So let's have a quick look at the card. So as always, this is going to be split into two videos. The first video will contain Tajiri versus Noam Dar. We've got a Tag Team Extreme Rules Tornado match between Instant Classic, TJ Perkin and Rich Swann, taking on the team of RVD and Sabu. Next, we're going to see Nicola Glencross get an opportunity at Asuka's Women's Championship. And of course, her Sanity stablemate Eric Young will be at ringside. Talking of Sanity, they will be facing off against DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Tag Team Championships as well. And again, that is going to be a Tornado Extreme Rules match. Then into video number 2, we are going to see Hideo Itami versus Samoa Joe in a tables match. We are going to see Eric Young versus Austin Aries. Ignore that, I accidentally pressed sim rather than edit. So we are going to have this match. I will find a way of doing it. But yeah, don't worry about that. And our main event, of course, is going to be Shinsuke Nakamura defending the NXT Championship against Bobby Roode. Anyway, let's get straight into our opening match of video number 1. Tajiri versus Noam Dar. And here we go. Let's just blatantly ignore the fact that it's Takeover Philly and it's in New York. Let's just ignore that. That didn't happen. Let's just ignore that. Of course, Tajiri, an ECW legend, and a WWE Cruiserweight Division legend, I suppose, as well. And I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't stuck around and ended up on Raw as well. It just seemed a bit more obvious for me for him to be there as well. Of course, Brian Kendrick stuck around, and I just thought Tajiri would as well. Add a few more established names to the roster of Cruiserweights, because I know, as well as probably a lot of you guys as well, I did know the majority of the lineup for the Cruiserweight Classic. However, there probably are a lot more casual fans on Raw. They probably didn't know any of them, and probably all these brand new wrestlers turn up on Raw. It's probably a little bit daunting, but of course, when you get people like Brian Kendrick and people like Tajiri, people that a lot of people know around the world, it becomes a little bit more easier to take. And of course, this guy here, Noam Dar, I believe is scheduled to make his debut on Raw tomorrow night. So it'd be interesting to see that. I think he's been finishing off a few of his other dates in the UK. Working for Progress Wrestling and ICW as well. So I think he's finished now, and he is happily moving across onto WWE, which is such a massive thing for him because he's only young as well, Noam Dar. I think he's only early 20s, like 22, 23 years old. So he could have a massive career ahead of him, you know. If he can get over in WWE, he could be going for a good sort of like 10, 15 years over there quite easily. But let's wait and see what happens in this match first. Tajiri versus Noam Dar. Of course, this is going to be interesting now because Tajiri likes to utilise his kicks. He likes to utilise some stiff punches as well, whereas Noam Dar is very proficient with his submission hold. So if Noam Dar can weaken the legs and the arms of Tajiri, then Tajiri's offense could completely disappear. So this could be a very interesting match. And of course, the last appearance of both these guys in our WWE 2K16 Universe mode. We only have one more pay-per-view after this, and of course that is going to be SmackDown. That should be uploaded pretty soon after this, probably in a few hours' time, or maybe even early hours of tomorrow morning. So keep an eye out for that as well. Got some good matches lined up for you on that, actually, including an Elimination Chamber. And we announced, of course, at the end of our last episode of SmackDown that we're bringing back one of the legends of the SmackDown brand for that Elimination Chamber, and of course that is going to be The Undertaker. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. Noam Dar now just tripping Tajiri, taking him down. And it'll be very interesting to see who wins this one, because is it going to be the youth and exuberance, or is it going to be the more experienced guy in the shape of Tajiri? Referee has to split the two, and it is a clean break. I wasn't quite expecting that. I think Noam Dar might end up playing a heel role on Raw. I think the Cruiserweight division is in need of some more heels. It seemed a bit obvious that Brian Kendrick was going to go heel. I think Noam Dar might go heel as well, just because of his cockiness. I think he'll get across quite well as a heel in WWE. Because at the moment, I think the only heel is Brian Kendrick, and everyone else is playing... Well, I think they're supposed to be playing as a face, but the crowd's not quite getting on their side at the moment. But I'm sure as time moves on, I'm sure more and more the crowd will get behind these Cruiserweight guys. I'm hoping they will anyway. Because they're such top-class wrestlers, they need to be given some sort of credence for how good they are. Great powerbomb there by Noam Dar onto Tajiri. Tajiri flat on his back and does get back up and catches Noam Dar with the jawbreaker. And a big step up into Guri as well. Clever thing there is he went for that step up into Guri as Noam Dar went to sweep kick and completely missed him. Tajiri obviously was up in the air and caught him in the back of the head. But now Noam Dar taking Tajiri down once again. Tajiri just can't seem to get any sort of prolonged aggression. As soon as he gets a little bit of fight in him, Noam Dar seems to kick that fight back out of him. Tajiri now just kicking the back of the leg of Noam Dar and drops him in a backdrop as well. Rolling Dar over. And some kicks to the face and a big one to finish off as well. Again now bringing Noam Dar back up to his feet. And now Tajiri looks like he is getting a bit more aggression now, sending Noam Dar into the corner. Handspring elbow. And a stamp on the back of the arm of Noam Dar as well. Noam Dar fights free from the suplex now into a snapmare, taking Tajiri down and now locking in that headlock. Tajiri manages to roll himself free though into a headlock of his own. Noam Dar bringing Tajiri centre of the ring, and again with that dragon screw just really damaging the legs. Tajiri, there's the miss to the face of Noam Dar. Tajiri went for a Hurricanrana, but Noam Dar reversed into a sit-out powerbomb. Wow. Noam Dar got hit with a miss in the face, and it just seems to have peed him off more than anything. Caught Tajiri straight away with that powerbomb. Now into a big German suplex. There's the pin. 2. It's only enough for a 2 count. Big kick to the back there by Noam Dar and Tajiri. Noam Dar now taking Tajiri up onto the top. Noam Dar now, what's he looking for here? Super backdrop. Tajiri hits the mat hard. And now there's a fisherman's buster as well by Noam Dar. That could be game, set, match. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Now Tajiri taking Noam Dar up, and Dar fights free again with that knee to the face. Oh, and a stiff DDT by Tajiri. Noam Dar hits the mat hard. Now Tajiri taking Dar up once again and finally catches him with that brainbuster right in the centre of the NXT Takeover Philly logo. 1, 2, and no, Noam Dar kicks out. Tajiri cannot believe it as Noam Dar kicks out of the brainbuster. Tajiri needs to find something else which is going to finish off that big knee to the face. Well, that could knock Noam Dar straight out, but Dar is still stirring on the ground. Tajiri continues the assault by kicking the leg of Noam Dar. Tajiri bringing Dar back up to his feet. There's the snapmare, and now wrenching back at the arm. Tajiri looking to take a few seconds to think about what she needs to do here, maybe. Noam Dar back up to his feet, but Tajiri catches him, looks to take him up on his shoulders, but Dar fights for another German suplex. And Noam Dar spinning Tajiri around, trying to take him away from the ropes, potentially maybe looking for a submission. No, drops the elbow into the inside of the knee. Noam Dar now taking Tajiri up. That big stiff scoop slam in for a pin he goes. Only a 2. Tajiri now spinning Noam Dar around. No, another German suplex, this time from Tajiri. Tajiri now taking Noam Dar down with a couple of clotheslines and that stiff back kick as well. Brings Dar back up to his feet. And there it is again, the green mist taking Noam Dar by surprise. Where is he getting this mist from? Up onto the shoulder again. Dar fights free into a German suplex. Exactly the same as what happened earlier on. Noam Dar again working on the knee. Stamping on the back of the knee as well. And Noam Dar really put on a very impressive performance here against Tajiri. Locks that headlock in, just trying to squeeze the life out of him. Both guys back up to their feet. Tajiri now looking to hook the leg, look maybe like a fisherman's buster there, but Noam Dar fights free and takes Tajiri up and hits a fisherman's buster of his own. Out of nowhere, Noam Dar now drops into the pin. This could be game, set, match. 1, 2, and 3, and it is Noam Dar. What a fantastic victory, and what was a very important match as well, a very good match. I'm a little bit surprised by how good this match was. I was expecting a decent match, don't get me wrong, but the opening part of this match was fantastic, it really was. And both these guys put on a really big performance, and of course both of them we will be looking to utilise in our 2K17 universe mode as well. Of course, Noam Dar is going to be used on both Raw and NXT when he moves onto the main roster pretty soon. And that's probably what we will do as well in our universe mode. We'll use him in 2 different universe modes. Like I said, I think we're going to concentrate on one brand at a time this time rather than try and do everything at once. That way we can sort of try and get a little bit more in-depth rather than... Because I get a little bit confused, I'm sure you probably do as well. If I do Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, SmackDown, might as well just do like 3 episodes of Raw a week. And then after about 3 or 4 weeks, we'll go on to a different roster and do something completely different. That's what I'm thinking of next year anyway. I say next year, I mean like 2 days like. But I think that's what we probably will do this time round. And yeah, what a very good match this has been. See, this is when Tajiri earlier on went for that Fisherman's Buster. And then straight away, Noam Dar just reversed it into one of his own. And that was the end of the match. The second time the match that Noam Dar had hit that as well. And for me, the Tajiri looked like he was in a very strong position there as well. Just after hitting the green mist for a second time. Looking for that Fisherman's Buster, but Noam Dar turns it around. And what a great victory for Noam Dar. I wonder exactly what's going to happen on Raw as well. Tomorrow night or tonight, whenever day it is when this is uploaded. Because, of course, that will be the debut of Noam Dar's, I believe it. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets over and who he's going to be against. And now it's time for match number 2 of the evening. Tornado Tag Team Extreme Rules match. Instant Classic. TJ Perkins and Rich Swann take on RVD and Sabu. And here we go, our second match of the evening. Another return for some old ECW wrestlers, some guys that I really like. And of course, first out, it is Instant Classic. We have Rich Swann And of course our Cruiserweight champion TJ Perkins. I was tempted to give TJ Perkins another championship defense here, but I felt it was a little bit unfair on him. I think he's done really, really well, of course, to hold on to the belt. He's only had one defense so far in our Universe mode, and that, of course, was against Jack Gallagher on our previous end of pay-per-view, which, of course, was Clash of Champions on Raw. So, yeah, I think he's done pretty well. So, I want to try and utilise him something a little bit different here. It would have been a little bit boring to sort of match the matches across the two cards, but be interesting to see how he gets on here in this match here. Of course, with the hardcore ability of both RVD and Sabu, and I did spend quite a long time trying to find a Bill Alfonso core to join this one, but I could not find one to save my life. It's the whole the way that this works on this game. It just doesn't really work, if that makes sense. The community creations, like you type something in and it doesn't bring up what you're looking for. It brings up loads of stuff. I typed in Bill Alfonso as one obviously there's two words, don't get me wrong, but still it just didn't seem to want to bring up anything. I typed in Bill Alfonso and the first thing it brings up is Jeff Hardy. I don't understand why that works. And the same thing happened with RVD and Sabu. I typed in Rob Van Dam and the first name that came up was CM Punk, and I couldn't figure out why. And why won't let me just have the person I typed in? If I typed in someone's name, and it's happened quite a lot as well. Like I knew that Nikki Glencross was on this game. I knew she was on there, but for some reason it took a while for me to find her, even though I knew she was on it because I've had her before. So I clicked Nikki Glencross, and I had to go quite far down the list before I actually found her. A bit stupid, really. I had to type in. That's it. I had to type in ICW to actually find Nikki Storm. It's a little bit strange. Oh, that bit me drink. Well, that's not good, is it? My the computer I was using to edit the SmackDown pay-per-view, or the Raw pay-per-view, sorry, while I was recording this one, seems to have crashed on me, which is not very good. Always annoying when that happens. Why are you doing this to me, computer? Why? It's the worst thing. You get right to the end of editing a video and the whole thing just crashes on you. I can't understand why it does it. So, of course, TJ Perkins and Rich Swann are the fresh up-and-coming lads on this roster. However, RVD and Sabu are a very established tag team. They've worked together for many of years now, and that could really help them out. And obviously a win here for RVD and Sabu, and you never know what they could get out of this. Come on, why are you not bloody working? Stupid computer. Sabu now sending Rich Swann into the corner. There's RVD with a drop kick to the back, and Rich Swann fighting back, and there's a Hurricanrana on Sabu. I've seen Sabu wrestle live a couple of years ago, and I must admit it was a little bit painful to watch because the guy's really struggling now. I think he's at that point where he's not got much else that he can do. He is a wrestler, and he's trying to live on that for as long as he possibly can, but at the moment his body just does not have the capability to do what he wants to do, I don't think, and it's a little bit painful to watch, and I felt so sorry for him. Don't get me wrong, it was great to see him. I got my picture taken with him, it was fantastic, but at the same time it was a little bit, I don't know, I just felt a little bit bad. It's a bit like when I saw, I didn't go to it, but I saw the highlights of the Vader versus Will Ospreay match that happened recently, and again, that was almost the same. You felt a little bit bad because Vader just struggled, and Vader just, when he was flat on his back on the ground, he couldn't get up. He honestly could not get up. And it comes a little bit difficult to watch, but there you go. These guys want to continue doing it because it's their passion, so I suppose you can't take it away from them. If they want to continue, they want to continue, but I think there becomes a certain point where they've got to sort of say to themselves, my body can't handle this anymore. It's only a 2 count now. TJ Perkins sending Sabu into the table in the corner, then putting Sabu through the table. What an amazing move that was with the head scissors. That was incredible. I've never seen that happen on this game before, and it takes it to the last pay-per-view. They're really pulling out all the stops here, aren't they? They really are. RVD completely missed that move. That's a little bit embarrassing. TJ Perkins continuing the assault on Sabu and now catching RVD in the back with a chair. RVD into the corner. And TJ Perkins now catching Sabu with the chair, and again with the chair. And now straight into the gut of RVD, and it looks like Rich Swann and TJ Perkins are actually fighting the team of RVD and Sabu at their own game here. Rich Swann now attacking the grounded RVD with the chair as well. As TJ Perkins takes Sabu up on his shoulders. We saw that move only yesterday. That was the move he used to retain his championship against Jack Gallagher, but it's not enough to defeat Sabu here. Sabu's still got some more left in the locker. Only a 2 count. TJ Perkins now looking in the cross armbar on Sabu. Of course, Extreme Rules. There's no rope breaks. Great frog splash there by Rich Swann on RVD, and the irony there, and he's won it. He has won it. The irony there. Rich Swann used a frog splash to defeat RVD. Oh wow, that's pretty impressive considering that is RVD's own finisher maneuver. And Rich Swann just used it against him. Not as long as a match as the previous one, but still very high quality. And the head scissors sending Sabu through the table. Hopefully we're going to get a replay of that. Go on, please give us a replay of that. I'll be a little bit annoyed if we get replays of all this arm bars and stuff like that, but we don't get a replay of the head scissors. No, we're not going to get a replay of the head scissors. Oh, this damn game. Nice handspring cutter there by Rich Swann. Went for the pin there, of course. That was only enough for a 2 count. There's the cross armbar by TJ Perkins, taking Sabu out of the equation. And as you can't just see from the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see Rich Swann. There he is, frog splash onto Rob Van Dam and taking Mr. Thursday. I can't remember what his name was now. Mr. Thursday Night? I don't know, the whole damn effing show, whatever his name was. RVD taking him out of his own maneuver. So Rich Swann and TJ Perkins, great victory here for them over the ECW legends. Noam Dar got a victory over Tajiri as well. So the fresh blood really being put over here, handing of the torch by the ECW legends to the young up-and-comers. It's great to see. And here we go. The following match is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the NXT Women's Championship. Our first championship match of the evening. And it is going to be Asuka, who's been fairly dominant, really, with this championship, which is exactly what we expected of her. It's no different to what we expected. So I would be surprised if she lost the belt here as well, I would say. And it's great as well to get Asuka on 2K17. Really looking forward to that now. Only a couple of days away. And I don't think I've mentioned it already in this video, but I have uploaded a video already. Which is basically my way of asking you for your suggestion for random matches on 2K17. We're really going to be hitting up a lot of random matches to start the whole thing off. So it's definitely worth a look. Again, if you put your suggestions forward, what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to put all your suggestions into a hat, and then we are going to be essentially just drawing the matches out of a hat that we are going to record. So I'm not going to make any decisions this year. It is going to be left to sheer luck. So obviously the more suggestions you make, the more likely one of your matches will be recorded, and of course you will get a shout out in the process. So yeah, please go and check that out. It is on the channel. I would have uploaded it already by now. It would have been maybe yesterday or a couple of hours ago, either way. But go over there, check it out. Drop down your suggestion in the comment section of that video, and I will add it to the hat of matches. I've already put about 20 odd matches in there myself to get us going. But it'd be interesting to see exactly what ideas you come up with, because I've got some decent ideas, but I want some ideas from you as well. I think to start things off, I'd like to be able to utilise some of the new people on the game. I'd like to try quite a few of the different match types as well. I think that'd be interesting, just see how they work this year. Hopefully certain match types are going to work a lot better than what they did this year on this game, like submissions, for example. AI versus AI, a submission match would probably never end. Tag team matches have not been fantastic on this year's game. 6-man tag matches, I tried to record one once. Half a random matches, and we will get them in the hat and ready to go. Of course, like I've said already, I've got about a week and a half off from release date, so I'm going to be trying to put like 4 or 5, maybe 6 videos up a day for that first couple of weeks, just to keep everyone in the loop. And of course, we've got the NXT edition, so we've got Shinsuke Nakamura, Apollo Crews, and Nia Jax. Well, remember that when you're suggesting your random matches. Also, if you have any random matches that include guys that are not on the game, or girls that are not on the game as well, I can go on to Community Creations, download them. I've got no problem doing that. So any suggestions you have at all, just let me know. Oh, a headbutt by Asuka there on Nikki Glencross. Now, I don't think this is going to be as one-sided as some of the matches that Asuka's had of recent. I think Nikki Glencross is a very, very good wrestler. And, of course, having Eric Young at ringside as well is definitely going to help out. Of course, this new formation of Sanity, which I don't know if they've debuted yet on NXT. I don't think they have yet. I think it's probably next week or the week after. So I apologise for spoilers if you don't know already. But I'm the sort of person who does read the NXT taping results as soon as they're recorded just to see what happens. I'm not very good at not doing that. I'm really bad at doing that, actually. So, yeah, I apologise if you don't want to know. But, again, it was a pretty cool idea of a stable, actually. One thing I've also seen today, actually to go a little bit off topic, I've just seen that WWE have put out like a survey of a potential price increase on the network. And they're going to change it from $9.99 up to $14.99. There's actually maybe 4 different, there's 4 different price structures. There's the $9.99 one stays exactly the way it is right now, but the $14.99 one, it states that you'll be able to watch independent wrestling such as Ring of Honor and TNA, which I thought was really interesting. So is that confirmation from WWE that they have invested in TNA, or at least brought the video library? So it'd be interesting to see if that is the case. But it could just be a big misunderstanding, it could be a troll, who knows. But the fact that, if it just said TNA, I probably would believe it, but the fact it said TNA and Ring of Honor makes me a little bit more questionable. I know that WWE have some sort of deal in place with Ring of Honor, because they do use some old Ring of Honor footage here and there in some of their DVDs and so forth, so it wouldn't surprise me if they do have something in place with Ring of Honor. But I don't know, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think that is true, or do you think I'm reading too much into this? It's an interesting situation as Nikki Glencross now up on the top rope. Big crossbody taking down Asuka, the champion. And could Nikki Glencross take the championship away from Asuka on the last event of NXT? Of course, we saw quite a few championship changes over on Clash of Champions. This is our first championship match of 3 of this evening. Of course, the next championship match is the next match, and that, of course, is going to be Sanity once again, as they take on DIY's Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Big elbow to the forehead there by Asuka. Now stamping on the back of the arm of Nikki Glencross. Now, I was tempted to make this an Extreme Rules match as well, but I just wanted to have Eric Young at ringside to give some interest into this match, which I think is a pretty decent idea. And I know I've already said it, but I'm looking forward to getting Asuka as a real wrestler on the new game, so of course, if you have any suggestions for random matches you would like to see her in, then please do let me know. I have put a few suggestions in the hat myself, stuff like Asuka versus Sasha Banks and so forth, things like that. As you see, Eric Young there distracted Asuka, and that allows Nikki Glencross the time to come behind Asuka and hit her with the reverse DDT. There's the pin. It's only enough for a 2 count though. Glencross now taking Asuka up into a sidewalk slam. And Asuka's in serious trouble here. Eric Young getting in the head of Asuka earlier on, allowing Nikki... See, I don't know what they're going to call Nikki now, because they have called her Nicola Glencross for a little bit of time. But I just think the Nikki Storm suits the Sanity name a little bit better. Or maybe they might just call her Nikki, just in general. But I don't think, as far as I'm aware, in the tapings, I don't think they've actually referred... Oh, they might do. They might actually refer to them on commentary, but of course it hasn't been aired as yet, so that might be this week's actually. Spinning neckbreaker there by Nikki. I'm just used to calling Nikki Storm because that's how I've ever seen her on the UK independent scene. Dropping into the pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. It's interesting to think that Nikki Storm is here in the WWE after being rejected just last year by TNA for the British boot camp. And I think TNA are a little bit dodgy. I'm just looking through the previous years. If you look at when they did the gut check, and you look at some of the people they hired compared to some of the people they left, and you look at British boot camp. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Mandrews, but I still think there might have been some better people. They could have got Will Ospreay. Actually, I don't think Will Ospreay went for it, did he? But if you look at Marty Scurll, who was in the first year of British boot camp, he'd probably be a big star on TNA at the moment. Whereas Rockstar Spud's still struggling. He gets over Spud, but he's just not. He's not at the upper echelons of TNA like he would like to be. He's done a few little singles runs where he's been the X Division champion and stuff like that. But it's I don't know. I just think they could be a little bit better. Nikki Storm now snap suplex on Asuka. I suppose WWE have got a massive bonus because everybody around the world wants to wrestle for WWE. You've got people like Nakamura, who's one of the biggest stars in the world in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he knew as soon as WWE were interested, he knew that the WWE was the place he wanted to be. That's the big move that everyone wants, is the WWE, and it's the same thing I think with Kazuchika. I can't even say it. I've always called him Kazuchika, but I think it's Kazuchika, something like that. Okada over in New Japan as well. I think he's very interested in moving to WWE because, again, even though how big New Japan is, the WWE has always been the big place where they all want to be. Great submission hold there by Nikki Glencross, or Nikki Storm, or Nicola Glencross, or whatever they're going to call her now. Or just Storm in general. Storm could be a decent name for her. Although I don't know if they'll get away with that because it's one of the X-Men. I don't know. There's the pin by Nikki. Only for a 2 count. I'm sure once we do NXT's roster on 2K17, we will know exactly what she's going to be called from there on. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by doing SmackDown on, big German suplex by Asuka, taking Nikki Storm there to Suplex City. Yeah, I think we're probably going to do SmackDown roster first because SmackDown is my favourite roster at the moment in WWE. So I think we'll push forward and do a bit of SmackDown first, and then I'm probably going to start off at Royal Rumble and do Rumble through to WrestleMania. And then once we've done that, we'll move on somewhere else. Asuka now. Saito suplex. Asuka stalking the grounded Nikki Storm. And locks in the Asuka lock. Oh, interesting. Maybe if she'd gone for the strikes instead, she might have pulled off the victory there. Asuka rolling Nikki Storm over. Going to go for the pin. Not quite sure if it's going to be enough. She did lock her in the Asuka lock, but it's not enough. No, it's only enough for a 2. Storm putting Asuka into the middle of the ring, slamming her back and head first into the mat. Oh, and again, it's very, very close to a 3 count straight away. Both ladies back up on their feet now. Nikki, with that forearm, now drops Asuka, or keeps Asuka, sorry, in the front chancery now. Takes it across that far rope. Takes her up and spinning neckbreaker as Asuka was draped over that middle rope. And that could be enough, you know. 1, 2, and 3, and it is. We've got a brand new NXT Women's Champion to finish off our NXT division. And I tell you what, Eric Young did not get that involved. He distracted Asuka once, that was all. A lot of this is Nikki's own work. This is the only point in the time in the match where Eric Young distracted Asuka, and all he was doing was really shouting. He didn't really get on the apron and distract her in any other way. So that's probably bad work by Asuka. She needs to ignore people like that. But this is interesting. I can see this sort of thing happening, you know, in NXT. Not this takeover, maybe the next one. Maybe the next one could be NXT Takeover Sanity or something like that. And I reckon Eric Young winning the NXT Championship, Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton winning the NXT Tag Team Championships, and Nikki Storm winning the Women's Championship could be a possibility of something that could all happen on one pay-per-view. Be interesting to see, though. This was when Nikki just slammed the back of the head of Asuka into the mat. Went for the pin there, but that was only enough for a 2 count. But it wasn't far after then. Of course, you see Nikki hoisting Asuka onto that top rope, and there's that draped, spinning neckbreaker. Asuka, you can see in her face there, she's down and out. Her eyes are glazed over, and that was enough for Nikki to get the 3 count. And we have a brand new NXT Women's Champion here on the finale of NXT. In 2K16, that is. To cover the 2K17, they will be back. But what a great way to finish things off with Nikki Glencross as the champion. And Eric Young must be pleased. The first part of the Sanity Takeover is complete. Now, can the tag team of Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton complete that in the very next match? And here is our final match of part number 1 of this video. It is an NXT Tag Team Championship match as Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa defend their belts against Sawyer Fulton and Alexander Wolf. Tornado Tag Team Extreme Rules. And here we go, our final match of part number 1 of this video then. I'll probably just repeat myself a lot there, but for me it was about a 3 or 4 minute gap of that load. I don't understand why the loading screens are so long on this game. But of course, we've got the NXT Tag Team Champions here. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa defeated the Revival at the last pay-per-view, which was Takeover Brooklyn? Yep. Takeover Brooklyn. But now they have probably an even more difficult opportunity here as they have to defend against the team of Sanity's Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton, who are a pretty beastly tag team. We've only seen them once or twice so far. Absolutely destroyed Lucas Bull and PJ Toby. No big surprise there, though. And here they come, Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton. Sanity. And you can just see the look of business in their eyes. They know at the end of this match they could be walking away with gold. See, Tommaso Ciampa's just jumped out the ring and Gargano's just stood there. Is Gargano going to bail as well? I'm hoping for Gargano's sake he does. He doesn't want to be locked in there in his own with Sanity. No, he has left the ring now. It's a bit glitchy sometimes, because sometimes people don't leave the ring and the other people that come in end up getting real face-to-face with them because they're not supposed to be there. There you can see the focus in the eyes of Sanity, Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton. Of course, this is a tornado match. No tags needed. Everyone is legal. Weapons are allowed because it is Extreme Rules. No disqualifications, no countouts, no rope breaks. So this is probably well in the hands of Sanity here. And that's what it's all for, the NXT Tag Team Championships. This is going to be crazy. Generic referee holds the belts up high as Gargano and Ciampa defend against Fulton and Wolf. I wonder if they're still going to be called Fulton. I'm sure they will be called Sawyer Fulton and Alexander Wolf still. Although they just want everyone to forget the fact that Sawyer Fulton was an absolute jobber for the last 18 months. I want everyone to forget that. I thought they might have repackaged him maybe, or... But then again, that might not work, because look at Bray Wyatt. They had Husky Harris as a bit of a jobber for a bit of time, and they sent him away. He redeveloped himself into this fantastic new character, and as soon as he came back, people are just chanting Husky Harris at him. So maybe keeping your same name, people know it's you either way, whether you change your name or your look or whatever, people know it's still you. But at least then they can only chant your current name. It doesn't sound as bad, maybe. I don't know. Husky Harris. I was really peed off with the fans when they did that, to tell the truth, because I really thought that it was disrespectful to the great work that Bray Wyatt had done to recreate himself and create this whole stable with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan as well. So I was a little bit disappointed, but thankfully he is over now, even if he's struggling a bit, because WWE keep writing him into losses, and it wouldn't surprise me if he loses again tonight, or it might have been last night when this is finally uploaded. But of course he is facing off against Randy Orton at No Mercy. Is it No Mercy? Yeah, it's No Mercy, isn't it? Yeah, he's facing off against Randy Orton at No Mercy, so Bray needs a win. He needs a clean victory. He's not had a good win in such a long time. He always seems to end up the butt of every single rivalry. Big right hand there by Sawyer Fulton, who again was a jobber himself. And then, of course, once this whole sanity thing happened, we had to find new jobbers in the shape of PJ Toby and Lucas Bull. But I think we'll make they might make a return for 2K17. Big double foot stomp there by Johnny Gargano and Alexander Wolf. And so far, Gargano and Ciampa are holding up their own, even though Fulton's destroying Ciampa at the moment. Boots to the face there by Gargano. Now he is bringing Wolf back up to his feet. Sends him into the turnbuckle. Gargano now taking Wolf up top. As Ciampa caught him with Fulton with a back elbow. And what is Gargano going for here? Super German suplex on Alexander Wolf. And so far, DIY are in control of this. There's the pin by Gargano. 1, 2. Oh, that's close to a 3 count. And Ciampa utilising the Extreme Rules method there. But it's not worked out well for him there as Fulton forcing Ciampa's own sledgehammer into his gut. And now Fulton bringing Ciampa back into that headlock takedown. Gargano taking Alexander Wolf up onto his shoulders. Oh, look at that. Running powerbomb. But Wolf's neck hit the top rope, and that is viciously dangerous. That could break your neck, that could. Gargano now bringing Wolf back up to his feet, and you know what? Gargano is in absolutely incredible form here. Oh, look at that. He catches him with a stroke, but straight onto the sledgehammer, and this could be all here. 1, 2, and 3, and Gargano's done it. Wow. I was not expecting this at all, and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa did fantastically well, especially Gargano. This was towards the end. You see this super German suplex from the top on Alexander Wolf. And this is when Ciampa went outside and got that sledgehammer. The sledgehammer didn't work out too well for Tommaso Ciampa though. He got forced into his stomach by Sawyer Fulton. But the sledgehammer then laid there on the mat. And it was Johnny Gargano who you see very cleverly using that sledgehammer. Well, he didn't really get him as much as I thought he did from the other angle, but let's just pretend he did. And landed him stroke style onto that sledgehammer, and that was enough for the 3 count. And Gargano and Ciampa successfully retained their championships in what was quite a quick match as well. I was not expecting that at all. I really wasn't. Then again, this video has gone to nearly an hour, so maybe it was a bit of a long one. But a great result here for DIY. And as I said, Fulton and Wolf are rated stat points higher than Gargano and Ciampa, but I suppose just the experience and the momentum these guys have been building throughout the Universe mode. They've won quite a few big matches, including winning the championships at TakeOver Brooklyn, so maybe that's helped him here get all the way to the pay-per-view and successfully retain these championships. So Eric Young will not be 100% happy this evening. Nikki Glencross has walked away with the NXT Women's Championship, but Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton could not take the Tag Team Championships away from Gargano and Ciampa. So guys, that's the end of part number 1 of our NXT Takeover Philly pay-per-view. I hope you have enjoyed this first part. Of course, if you have, then please help me out by hitting that like button. It does really help me out. It makes the video easier for other people to find. We're still only 9 subscribers away as of now of reaching 2,500 subs, which is what I wanted to get to before 2K17. So if you're not already subscribed, please do hit that button to help me get to that 2,500 mark. It really would be amazing for me. And of course, keep your eye out because part number 2 of this pay-per-view should be uploaded in the next few minutes. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for part 2 of our NXT Takeover Philly pay-per-view.